Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Qori'atun Salsabila.
And my name is Rheinheart Raharjanto.
We are Group 1 from Chemistry Class 2021, State University of Jakarta. Our subject is English for Chemistry and our lecturer is Miss Irma Kartika. In this video, we want to share for you guys about the one thing it's out of your expectation. This is the experimental product and the name is Oobleck.
The name Oobleck is derived from Dr. Seuss' book Bartolomeo and the Oobleck. It's the story of a bored old king who gets bored with normal everyday weather. So instead, he makes the sticky stuff fall from the sky.
Oobleck is known as Non-Newtonian Fluid. So, what's the Non-Newtonian Fluid?
Before that, watch this video.
How do we get out of this stuff?
Okay, rule number 1 of quicksand, don't panic, you'll only get sucked in further.
How do you think the quicksand sucks us into them? That's because quicksand has a working principle similar to Oobleck's. It's a non-Newtonian fluid.
So, let's go into the theory of non-Newtonian fluids. A non-Newtonian fluid is a fluid that doesn't follow Newton's law of viscosity. In non-Newtonian fluid, viscosity can change when under force to either more liquid or more solid. Viscosity is a measure of how easily a fluid moves. In Newtonian fluid, changing the force you apply to the fluid, such as gently slapping it or hitting it, it will not change the viscosity.
The main ingredients for making Oobleck is cornstarch and water. Cornstarch is the starch derived from the corn plant through a corn white wheeling process. In the corn refining process, cornstarch is obtained from the endosperm of the corn kernel. The chemical component of cornstarch are amylose and amylopectin.
Cornstarch and water are a suspension mixture with a solid dispersed into a liquid. The starch grains remain intact rather than dissolving. Cornstarch is a large blocky molecule, and water is a much smaller rounder molecule than cornstarch. When we combine these two, we get a suspension. Each cornstarch molecule is surrounded by water molecules. As you can see, the water molecules are a lot smaller than the cornstarch molecules. When you press the mixture quickly, the starch molecules close together. This causes the water to get trapped between the starch chains and creates a semi-rigid structure. When you press slowly, these starch chains block doesn't happen and the mixture flows like a liquid. We have already seen how the Oobleck as a non-Newtonian fluid works. Now, let's create an experiment with Oobleck. The materials we need to make this Oobleck are 1 cup of cornstarch, 1/2 cup of water, mixing bowl, tablespoon, and food coloring. But to add food coloring is optional.
Next is how you make an Oobleck. First, add the cornstarch to the mixing bowl. Then add a little bit of water to the cornstarch. Start mixing with a spoon. Add more water to make it easier to mix. Add food coloring to the mixture to make it more pretty. It's optional. And use the spoon again. And that's it. The Oobleck is done. This is what you can do with an Oobleck. If you put pressure on it, it will become solid. As you can see here, we can form it into a ball. But if you let go of the pressure, it will become liquid again. And then throw it. It's still a ball. Let go, after pressure it will become liquid. Now the same thing happens if you force your finger to the mixture. It will become solid and your finger can't enter. But if you slowly move your finger can enter the mixer. It's really fun to play with. Other than that, Oobleck can do something else. For example, a person may walk on a large tub of an Oobleck without sinking. Then sing Oobleck when placed on subwoofer, and if a person were to punch or hit Oobleck, it will thicken and act like a solid.
So much fun to play with Oobleck, but to make Oobleck have a strength and weaknesses. It's easy to make, it's easy to find the materials. Oobleck is non-toxic, and it's really fun to play with. You can carelessly dispose Oobleck because it's a thick liquid that can clog water channels, making Oobleck tend to be quite messy. If it's dry, the Oobleck can't be used anymore, so you need an airtight container to store it. Oobleck is difficult to remove if it sticks to certain surfaces, but the benefits we can get from Oobleck is it can be a great alternative when we feel stressed or bored. For children, it's good to practice fine motor skills when gripping and pouring, and can train children's imagination by adding toys in it such as figurines.
Oobleck is a really fun science experiment to try. It's a non-Newtonian fluid that doesn't follow the laws of viscosity. It's solid if you put pressure on it, and it's liquid if it doesn't put pressure on it. It's easy to make, it doesn't cost a lot, and it's really fun to play with. It can be quite messy, but overall the strength outweighs the weakness. And that's it from our group. I hope you can learn something from it. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.